Better light here. Outside on the patio. What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all tuning in to another Fight Chat Daily MMA News. Chime in, join the conversation. But yeah, a lot of news coming out today. Let's see, we got where are my notes here? Looking real unprepared. So, yeah, so apparently GSP put out a message today saying he was gonna announce his retirement tomorrow at a media presser in Montreal, Quebec, which is where he's from. Of course, that was a shocker. I mean, he's been out of the game for a while, but I guess it shouldn't be much of a surprise. But uh, I was hoping he would come back and do another fight. He's such a beast. Um, Apparently, from what the reports are saying, is that he was trying to finalize or get some sort of deal done to face Khabib, and I guess they weren't able to come to terms, whether it's like a money thing or a Khabib suspension. Not sure what the issue was, but yeah, like according to the reports, like he's gonna hang up the gloves. He's gonna announce it tomorrow at a presser in his hometown, Montreal, Quebec. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Khabib responded and said that he wants to fight him too, and he hopes that he's not going to retire before they have a chance to fight. He'd like to be his last match, which would be, if you've been a fan of the sport for a while, I know a lot of people are new, are relatively new. They might not have been around during the main GSP, the dominant years, but for the fans who are more inclusive, hardcore fans, whatever you want to call them, dude, how could you get any bigger than GSP and Khabib? Like what could be more fun to watch? I would watch GSP and Khabib have like a chicken wing eating contest, and I'd download it and pay for it. Like it would just be fun, man. Just the legend of the two guys. You'd watch them do anything if it was competition. But I don't know who would win that one, man. GSP's a little older now. If they are able to finalize a deal, like I don't know, man. It would be an epic fight. Obviously, GSP stays in shape. He's not a guy who takes time off and gets out of shape and gets back in shape. Like he's a constant workhorse in the gymnastics. I'm sure the weight room, but if he comes out sharp, man, apparently he's been training his boxing too in LA with Freddie Roach. He's been in the gym getting work in, and from all reports, they say he's been looking really good on the mitts. So he'll come in and do some rounds with Freddie Roach, which if you're not familiar with who Freddie Roach is, it's world famous boxing trainer, Manny Pacquiao's trainer, amongst many other world champions. Freddie Roach is like that guy in the world of boxing as far as trainers. But they're saying he's like a sharp man. GSP's philosophy, they say he shows up, and he's not one of those guys who does like who trains for 35, 40 minutes to get ready for a 25-minute fight. He says he wants to go in and work for exactly the amount of time that the fight's going to last. So if the fight's 15 minutes, 3 rounds, that he likes to go a hard 15 minutes and then he's out the door. If it's a 5 round fight, He likes to do a solid, hard 25 minutes, and he's in and out of the gym, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, he, to know exactly how much output you can have, exactly how hard you can go, exactly how the pace that you can set for yourself, um, for the exact amount of time that the fight's going to be. I think it's really smart, man. Like a lot of people, you hear the term overtrain a lot. I don't know if overtrain is right. You hear a lot of guys say, we trained for the fight's 15 minutes. I've trained to go 25. I've trained to go 30. Apparently, that's not his idea. He said, I want to know exactly how hard I can go for the time allotted, and I'm out. I'm in the gym. I busted out really hard, and then I'm done. Which makes a lot of sense to me, man. But I'm not a pro fighter, but just the outside looking in, it seems to make a lot of sense. It's very logical to look at it that way. Um, I think there's a medical reason behind the retirement. You got to think he was injured really bad against Bisbing, where they thought he could die. I didn't know that. Huh. I I have to look that up. I didn't realize that he had a terrible injury going into the Bisbing fight. You said where they thought he could die. Well, like what type of injury was that? Because I haven't heard any reports or seen anything on that. But if that's true, that's crazy. Um, I mean, he came back. I think taking a sidestep from the Khabib GSP. I think that it's pretty obvious that the only reason that GSP came back and fought for the middleweight title was because it was the perfect opportunity for him to get it done. It was the perfect fight, the perfect stylistic matchup. He knew that he would have a great chance at beating Bisbing and get another title. And he jumped on the opportunity. Um, and you knew he was probably going to vacate right after. I mean, you don't. I couldn't see him getting in there with Yoel Romero. I think if he got in there with Yoel Romero, he would get smashed. Um, I couldn't see him getting in there with Robert Whitaker. I mean, I think those guys are just flat out too big for him. He just wouldn't have the size to do it. So Bisbee was the perfect opportunity for him to get his title at 185, and then he vacated and got back out, which a lot of people say held up the division. Which is true. But hey, man, he's a legend. That's what he wanted to do. He's earned his right. He asked for the fight. They gave him the fight, and it's just how it played out, man. But he has something going on after the third round. I can't remember what it had to deal with. That's why he gave up the belt shortly after and didn't defend because he signed a multi-fight contract. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to look that up, man. I appreciate you telling me that. I didn't realize he signed a multi-fight deal. I thought it was one and done, and then they were going to renegotiate, just because of how the division was stacked and you know his how you match up with the other top guys in the division, the Luke Rockholds and things like that. But that's crazy. But yeah, getting back to the Khabib and thick GSP versus Khabib. Yeah, he won't be thick like he was when he fought Bisping, man. He was jacked, thicker than a snicker, man. Is that there's a common thing to say? But like he was a tank when he fought Michael Bisping. That was at 185. If he fights Khabib, apparently he feels like he could get down to 55 to fight Khabib. He thinks he could. He was welterweight champion at 170. Uh, Dominated his entire career. Only ever lost to Matt Hughes and Matt Serra. Avenged both of those losses immediately after. Beat BJ Penn twice. I mean, he's the best of the best that you could get in a fighter. And but yeah, fought at 170 for all those years. Dominated everybody. went up to 185, and now he's saying he could get down to 155, the 30 pound weight drop, which would be that would be impressive considering how thick he was at 85. But I guess if he has the time and changes his diet and his routine and slims up, maybe he could do it. Khabib apparently said that he'll do 55, and if GSP wants to agree to meet up at 60, that he'll fight him at a catch weight at 160. But either way, man, like if they sign that deal, Khabib and GSP fight, dude, like fight of the decade, man. Like that would have to be. You would have to think that that would be one of the biggest selling fights the UFC's ever had as far as pay-per-view buys, tickets, all around board. It would be gigantic to do a GSP and Nurmagomedov fight. The way that Khabib just put a mauling on Conor McGregor and just dropped him with the overhand right and just took him down and just pounded him out the whole entire night. Um, he really can't look any better than he looked that night. He didn't take any damage. Conor didn't land anything significant, which I thought Conor would be able to catch him coming in. I really did. I thought Conor might be able to time the takedown and catch him coming in with something and be effective, but he wasn't able to get anything going. He didn't land one significant shot. And Khabib just was, he did what he did to everybody else. He just ran him over, took him down, held him down, uh, punched him in the face whenever he wanted to, and just dominated. Man, looked as impressive as ever. So to come off of that, to fight GSP, the most dominant 170 pounder of all time, to bang the battle drums, man, like that's one that you can't miss. Um, I think GSP is a little older. I'm sure he's still a monster. Will he be able to out wrestle Khabib? That would be the most exciting part. As far as hands go, GSP has the better boxing. He's got the better stand up. As far as the way he would pick guys apart with the jab and keep their timing off. The way he just busted up Josh Koscheck's eye, had it swollen shut by the end of the second round. Um, his stand up would be superior to Khabib's, but the fun part is going to be the grappling and the wrestling. That will be interesting to see who gets the upper hand as far as that goes. If you're a serious fan, I want to see who wins that wrestling match. They don't even have to fight in the cage, dude. Let's just have an amateur wrestling match. They come out in singlets or whatever, MMA, their MMA attire, shorts, whatever, and just straight wrestling. And I just want to see who came out on top. Maybe, speaking of the Koscheck, I think a lot of people don't know. If you go back and watch the second Koscheck fight, the way he just lit him up with jabs. I believe they said after the fight that Koscheck's eye was so swollen and damaged from all the jabs that GSP hit him with that he had to take a car ride all the way back home because if he got an airplane with the elevation, that the pressure, like his eye, would have essentially just popped. So he had to take a car ride back home, which is, yeah, none for me, man. You can have all that you want. I don't. I'm not man enough for that. Just looked it up, brother. It was a bone connected to the spinal cord. Oh shoot, that was broke from an elbow in the first round. But I was afraid it was going to cause life-threatening injuries. Oh wow, that's scary. A bone connected to the spinal cord that was broke from an elbow in the first round. They were afraid it was going to cause life-threatening injuries. Well, I mean, if you saw the fight last weekend, Paul Felder fought James Vick beat him by decision pretty decisively. You know, uh, tore his legs up, leg kicks all night. But apparently, after the fight, he went to the hospital, and they said he had one of his lungs was like collapsed to a certain degree. Um, that's you get in there, man, and people say these guys put their life on the line. I think a lot of people don't take that serious. They think these guys are trained. They get in there. There's a referee. Yeah, dude, it's a fight, man. It is a fight. These guys are in there. Nobody, well, 9 guys out of 10 don't want to seriously injure each other. But at the end of the day, you can say, I got this game plan, I got that game plan, this is my strategy. Dude, it is a fist fight. You're in there to do damage to your opponent's body. You're in there, whatever happens, happens. If you bust their eye, you bust it. Bro, it's a fight. It's not what people think about from just watching on TV. It's not a sport. You don't play. You play football. You play basketball. You play baseball. You play hockey. You play soccer. You don't play fighting. I think people don't take that serious enough when they say that these guys, every time they go in there, they're putting their life on the line. Like, yeah, collapsed lungs. Um, like you said, I just found out a bone connected to the spinal cord. Like, it's no joke, man. You have to be 100% committed to your training camp, to the mental aspect, everything. You have to be 100% in it and focused. Or you could be messed up for life, man. You could walk in there, you know, healthy, and when you walk out, your life is never the same. I think people just don't give these guys enough credit, especially in America, where they boo if they think the action is stalling, they boo for this, they boo for a lot of reasons, and it makes me sick when I see that because you don't realize the torture these guys put themselves through to get into that cage and to fight and to entertain you, and you boo them because you think they're not doing enough, or you boo them just for whatever reasons you come up with while you're sitting in the stands drinking your beer and not doing anything, just sitting there watching. It irks me to no degree, man. Just the lack of respect for how hard these guys have to work just to be in shape to get in there to have a chance to win. Not even to win, to have a chance and to not gas out. You have to be in insane physical condition. Uh, Connor didn't want it. This could be, I hate to admit it, but I don't think he's hungry anymore. I don't know, man. I mean, how hungry can you be to get punched and kicked in the head in training when you wake up one day and you wake up the day after you fought Floyd Mayweather and check your bank account and now you have 100 million. Like how hungry could you be? $100 million. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, only he knows that, and maybe the people around him. But um, I don't know if it was he wasn't hungry. I just think that he had to be so focused on trying to make sure that Khabib didn't get him to the ground and and put him on his back. He had to have that on his mind so much that he wasn't really able to let his hands go like he wanted. And Stylebender, Kelvin Gastelum, and April Shabishin as well. Yeah, yeah, of course, man. I'm gonna touch on that too. There's a lot of fun stuff I got in my notes over here to talk about. A lot of crazy stories I just ran across about an hour ago. I haven't even heard of until tonight. But I just I think he was so worried about the takedown. Then I think that that had to be his MO, was to stay on the feet to have a chance to win. Because if you go back and look, I mean, and listen to um, the reports on his game plan and what his corner and coach told him, they were flat out. They were like, "Hey, If you get taken down, the reports said that the strategy was, stay on your feet. If you do get taken down at any point in the fight, do not exert much energy trying to get back to your feet. Just concede the takedown. Don't take any heavy damage, and we'll let the round finish, and then we'll start the second round standing. So if he got taken down, he wasn't going to burn himself out trying to get back to his feet because Khabib's wrestling is so superior. Um, so I mean, it could be one of those things. Maybe he wasn't as hungry, or maybe he just had to be so focused on not getting put on his back. But I mean, only he knows, and his team knows, those people close to him. But it is what it was, man. Khabib put him hurting on him. But apparently he's coming back now. They're still talking about the Conor and Cowboy fight, which would be bro. Yeah, I would be excited for that one. I'm a really quiet guy. I don't show my emotions a lot, but I would be wired for that one, man. I would be amped up. Um, so if he does come back to fight Cowboy, I hope he does have that hunger again, man. If he does, and he's old Connor, and he's got that fire under his belt, and he's training like an animal, and he wants to get the title back, and he has other plans now with it. I don't like it for Cowboy. I think Connor's a little too fast. I think he's too slick on the feet. I think his timing is too good. Cowboy starts out slow. Traditionally, he's a bit of a slow starter. I think Connor catches him and hurts him in the first round pretty early. But Cowboy apparently is refocused now too. He's like, I've always fought just for money, and I've always fought just because I love to fight, and I'm a wild dude, and I'm an adrenaline junkie. But now he has a son, and he says that's my motivation. I want to make this title run seriously. Um, I have a kid. I want to get this done and get that strap, and make him proud. Hey man, that's some motivation. You have a, a new baby, and man, it'll put your your goals in sight real fast, man. You'll get your priorities in order of what you really want to do. Cowboy might just say, "Forget it." I'm gonna try to not get caught with anything heavy and grab him and take him down, and I'm gonna try to submit him, get him on the ground, hold him down, and just get past him, work my way up to a title. But we'll see, man. If Conor Cowboy happens, they made that announcement, man. I will be on cloud nine until the fight gets here and until it's done. Um, but yeah, man, I think talking about the Conor Khabib thing before I get off of that, I think not Conor Khabib, GSP Khabib. I think Khabib gets him. I do. I'll go Khabib by decision. Um, he doesn't finish George, but I think Khabib gets him by decision just because George is a little older. I think Khabib is still in his prime. Um, I don't know, man. It could go either way. I just think I'm gonna go Khabib. I'm kind of just pulling out of my hat here, man. Like I really don't know um, which way to go, but just like I said, based off age and things like that, and Khabib has been more active. GSP, he's been bouncing in and out. He's been on the shelf majority of the last 2 or 3 years. So yeah, I think Khabib will ultimately get him uh, in a 5-round fight um, to get him in by decision. Bisping's son is doing MMA too now. I can't wait to see if he furthers his dad's legacy. Will be wild to see. Yeah, apparently his son is a beast of a wrestler too, man. I was watching Bisping's uh, he put out a video the other day. I can't remember if it was on his podcast. If you haven't saw the Michael Bisping podcast or ever checked it out, it's called Believe You Me. Believe You Me. Michael Bisping podcast, and is really good, man. He's a really smart dude who breaks things down, and I love listening to that guy as a commentator and just all around. Um, but yeah, he's been working with his son on the mitts and on his striking since he was, knee high to a grasshopper, and he's a beast of a wrestler too. In high school, he just won another tournament. I think he's like one of the top wrestlers in his state, if not the top. So I mean, when you got a dad like Michael Bisping, who was the champion and was a contender for a lot of years, um, what better training can you have than to have that type of experience? Um, Maybe he'll be in the UFC, man. Maybe he'll be better than his dad. Who knows? But it'll be fun to watch, man, for sure. It's always nice when you see someone's kid come up and uh, and they're talented and work hard as well. So we'll see what happens in the years to come, man. It'll be fun for sure. Just hearing that little snippet about the possibility, a lot of fun, man. Uh, Another thing I heard today, who do you guys think would win though? Uh, GSP or GSP or Khabib? Like I said, I'm gonna go with Khabib by decision. Let me know what y'all think, man. We'll go back and forth on that too about who you guys think might take it. Um, but yeah, man, while y'all are, I know it's a hard choice. Um, Another thing I heard today is I made a video a few days ago talking about DC and Stipe fight. Stipe called him out on Twitter for um, UFC 236. Said there's no main event headliner. How about a rematch for the title? Um, and he's like, DC, what's up, man? Rematch for the heavyweight title, UFC 236. And Cormier before that did an interview to where he said, "What my last three fights will probably be Stipe, Brock Lesnar, and then John Jones back at 205." But since he made that statement in the interview, Francis, if you saw that fight, Francis Ngannou beat his one of his best friends and his training partner, Kane, beat him in, was it 26 seconds or 46 seconds? I can't remember which. Might have been 26. But yeah, TKO'd him. And that's what the ruling was. People were saying they don't know if it was the uppercut that got him and the way he fell, or if Kane's knee popped and the uppercut was just, consequent, substantial, whatever. But either way, Ngannou gets the TKO win really fast. And apparently Cormier is heated, man. So now they're talking about a possible Daniel Cormier versus Francis Ngannou fight, which would be Francis and DC would be very interesting, bro. Very, very interesting. Um, DC is a small heavyweight. He's smaller than, he's got that Tyson effect. Like everybody he fights at heavyweight is going to be bigger than him. He's always going to be the smallest guy. He's undefeated at heavyweight, but he always has that size disadvantage. He's just so good. His wrestling is so good. He's so well rounded, man. But it's a toss up. Insane Cat won. It's a toss up, to be honest. I think GSP could get him, though. Uh, I mean, maybe GSP in his prime, I'd be more inclined to say yeah. But, GSP is a hoss, man. Always will be. Um, I don't know, dude. You might be right. I mean, it's one of those. I mean, the odd, the betting odds would probably be in Khabib's favor just because of age and the time that GSP has been in and out of the game. But I mean, he could, man. I mean, he could win. If he wants to keep it standing and he's able to, and he decides that he doesn't want a wrestling match, and he's able to stay on his feet and use his boxing and his jabs and pick Khabib apart that way. He could beat him. It's not out of the realm of possibility at all. I mean, it's George St. Pierre. a legend and still in phenomenal shape. Um, so it could go either way, man. Yeah, 26 seconds on that uh, Francis Velasquez KO. But if Francis fights Cormier, that would be interesting, man. Obviously, you know the game plan. DC is it's takedown city, baby. Takedowns all day. Takedown, takedown. Um, and if Cormier can get a hold of an ankle, can get a hold of a leg, and can take Francis down, Francis is not getting back up, my friend. Francis will not get back up until DC decides to let him up or the round ends. If he gets him down, he's going to wear him out. He's going to drown him. He's going to beat him up. Uh, but Francis has that crazy power that is no secret. I talk about it a lot when Francis KO'd Overeem. You want to talk about putting yourself on the map? That uppercut from the hip that just whipped his head back. Boom! I thought he killed him. Like, that's no exaggeration. I was like, oh shoot! Like he killed him. He might legit be dead. The way his head snapped back, that was scary to watch. Um, if Francis, because as good as DC is, he still gets hit. He is susceptible to taking a shot. He can take a shot, but he's not one of these guys who, he just never gets hit. Uh, People land shots on him, and Anthony Rumble landed that shot on the chin, dropped him, he popped right back up, but Rumble landed that big shot. Stipe landed some shots. Derek Lewis landed a couple good ones. If Francis lands a shot as Cormier is trying to come in with one of those monster uppercuts or any kind of shot with full power, dude, I mean, anything could happen. Can you imagine if he just flatlines DC, just puts him away and becomes a heavyweight champion? Holy freaking smokes, dude. Like, we want to talk about hype. Total and complete redemption from losing to Stipe if he's able to KO DC, TKO him, put him away. People aren't even going to be saying anything about that Stipe fight. That's going to be forgotten. Francis is going to be on like Mount Rushmore of the MMA world. Um, he'll be, on the cover of everything. And you want to talk about a star being born? That would be crazy, but he's got to catch him because if DC gets him down, it's a wrap. If DC gets Francis down, it's a wrap, dude. That's it. He's not getting back up. I think the Ngannou versus DC fight will be like Francis' fight with Stipe. Only way I can see him win is by KO when DC is coming in for a low takedown. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree. Um, DC is not like Kane is going to be in that fight. DC is going to press forward, but Kane would stand there and play the stand up game. He'd stand there and throw strikes with you. He'd hang in the pocket. Not sure why he was throwing a head kick against Francis. I mean, maybe just to give him something to look at. But yeah, if he Cormier is not going to play that game. Cormier is going to be looking for that takedown, that quick takedown. He's going to try to get a hold of him, put him on his back as fast as possible. And his MO is probably going to be, obviously to defend my title. But he's like, I'm going to get you. He's like, I'm going to avenge my friend. I'm gonna beat you up for how it went down with one of my best friends. Like you're gonna get the business. That's gonna be his mindset. But he's got to get past those bombs, dude. He's got to get past those mailbox fists that are just coming in at 100 miles an hour straight down the pipe. And if he gets hit, man, he could be in trouble quick, real quick. I think DC will get him. But Francis is such a freak, man. People don't realize how fast that dude is either. If you go watch some of his training clips where he's hitting mitts and he's really loose and warmed up and just firing shots, to be as big as he is, dude, he's got some speed. He's got some uh, freakishly fast hands to go with that power. So DC is going to have to be very, very careful against Francis, or he could get dropped. You know, just as quick as Kane did. So he's going to have to get it to the ground fast. I feel. But I think ultimately DC would get the job done. I think he's too smart to play that stand-up game. I think he would get him down, and he would ultimately beat him. But again, this is just I'm just a guy on his back patio giving his opinion. At the end of the day, I don't know anything. I'm not a professional. I just love to watch it and give my input. It doesn't mean anything. Um, 'Cause nobody take what I say too serious. But I just I think DC would ultimately get him. DC versus Ngannou would be like when Tyson avenged Ali. Tyson Holmes. Oh yeah, he would go into to murk him, man. He wouldn't go into like to grind it out. Like DC would be going in for blood. Like you did this to my big brother. So yada yada yada. It's like okay, I'm about to put it on you, man. And I'm about to give you the business for real. But we'll see, man. If that happens, we'll see how it goes. It'll be fun to watch. The build up to it would be fun, and could be a fight that lasts a few rounds. Could be a fight that lasts 15, 20 seconds. But that's what I love about watching fights, man. That's what I love about MMA, boxing, any type of combat sport. Is anything can happen. You could be watching and uh, with your friends for 25 minutes and goes to a decision, or it could be over in 10. Anybody could win if they land that shot. One punch could change a fighter's life. One punch could change a career, could make someone a champion. Michael Bisping, Luke Rockhold. People thought Rockhold was going to run over him again. He stayed calm. Rockhold underestimated him. Hands were too low. Chin was up in the air. Bisping ate a jab, came back over the top with a right hand. Bing, put him on his back and TKO'd him. Brand new champion. That's what I love about it, man. You just never know. Nobody can be taken lightly. Fights can change on a dime. One guy can be dominating the entire fight, and he gets hit with a shot, and now things have completely switched on their head. I love it, man. Um, if you watch last Saturday, which was the Francis and Kane pay per view, there was the Aljamain Sterling Jimmy Rivera fight, which was a good fight. Both guys looked really good. It was we throw the word great around a lot, but it was a really really good fight. It was a fun fight. Aljamain Sterling ultimately he beat Jimmy Rivera by unanimous decision, and he looked good, man. He looked solid, looked smooth, looked on point. Smooth, excuse me. Looked on point and got the job done against Rivera, who's no slouch, dude. Not at all. Rivera's a beast, and beat him by unanimous decision. And in an interview I saw today, apparently him and No Love, Cody Garbrandt, got some beef going on. Apparently there was some sort of altercation. Aljamain met Cody Garbrandt at some location, and I can't remember the details he gave. You can find the video online if you want to hear exactly what he said. But in a nutshell, he said Garbrandt likes to get on the camera and play this humble, respectful, nice guy. But when the cameras are off, he's just a straight jerk and douchebag, according to Aljamain Sterling. So that's a fight that he's seems to be now calling for. Like he wants to get in there with Cody Garbrandt, which I think would be fun. Uh, Garbrandt's coming off those 2 losses to Dillashaw. He wants to get right back in there and prove himself again. So that would be a fun one to watch, man. Cody and Aljamain Sterling. I don't know. We'll see if it comes to fruition. That's really all I've seen about that one up to this point. I'm a big Cody Garbrandt fan, man. I like his style. I like the way he fights. Really aggressive, throws heavy, which cost him. That aggression cost him in the T.J. Dillashaw fight twice. I believe it was the same punch that he got caught with both times. That ultimately led to him being put away. But you know, maybe he was fighting out of emotion just because of the trash talk and the history they had, and maybe he came in and got a little over aggressive and like I said, was fighting out of emotion and didn't use his intelligence and just tried to do too much too fast. And one thing he was doing was loading up on his punches. Anyone who's been watching a good striker for very long, you don't want to leave a tail in your punches. You don't want to have something that gives away what you're about to do. You don't want to have a drawback. If you're going to throw your punches, you want them to come straight, boom, boom. You don't want to. You don't want to get ready to throw a cross, and before you do it, every time you pull back. You pull back before you throw it. You just want to let it go. Um, and he was loading up on his punches. You could see him just loading up to throw as much power as he possibly could, and Dillashaw recognized that, slipped it on him, and was able to put him away not long after that. So maybe he was overly emotional and just wanted to knock him out so bad that he was, got away from just letting his hands, from that crispness. But I don't know, man. Yeah, if him and Sterling get into it, man, get in the cage, it'll be fun to watch for sure. But we'll see what happens. Um, and if you're, I don't know if you guys or anyone who's watching is a WWE fan. I was growing up. I mean, I was a kid. It was WWF, World Wrestling Federation, and there was some legal issues with I want to say it was the World Wildlife Foundation, the same acronym, WWF, and they had to change the name. They went from World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment. Um, but yeah, like news that came out today is apparently Chris Cyborg, who just lost to Nunes, got KO'd in the first round, which everybody's jaws dropped to the floor. The first time she's ever had any sort of adversity, and Nunes TKO'd her in the first round quick. She called for the rematch. Didn't happen. Nunes said, "I'm done with it. I became the 2 division champ. Now I'm going back down to my weight to defend my original title. I'm not going up there to fight you again." So that ship sailed. And apparently she's trying to get a new UFC deal. And if she can't, Chris Cyborg's talking about signing a contract with the WWE and going to do professional wrestling. Ronda Rousey's in pro wrestling too now, so which would be interesting to see how that plays out. Because apparently, according to the interviews I read online, Rousey's stated that if the WWE headquarters, or whoever McMahon's, whoever signs the competition, Rousey said straight up, if you guys sign Cyborg to a WWE deal, then I'm out. that I'm not going to be doing this anymore, which is like, what? I mean, the competitive side of her, maybe, since they never got to fight. Maybe it's just her mentality. I don't know, but apparently she's like, if Cyborg's in, I'm out. Um, but if they could work that out, dude, you want to talk about a storyline for the WWE? They've got Rousey as a face right now, and if Cyborg was to come in and they could somehow make that behind the scenes relationship work, and they could get some fluidity and get in the ring together, and Cyborg could learn the move sets and learn the how to work a match and look legitimately good, um, or look legit. They could build a crazy storyline off of that. Just some their rivalry in the sport of MMA, and then the WWE clash. That'd be crazy. Like, I don't watch wrestling much anymore. I just can't get into it like I used to. But that would be the one I would have to tune in to watch. I would tune in every Monday and pay-per-views to see what they did with a Rousey Cyborg. Excuse me, with a Rousey Cyborg storyline on WWE. That would be fun to watch. Who would be the face? Who would be the heel? Um, but yeah, we'll see, man. And if Cyborg does get a new UFC deal, I mean, who's left? I mean, what are we going to see? Are we just going to see her run back through the same women that she's already beaten and demolished? I mean, she could fight Holly Holm. You know, I mean, Nunes says she's not doing the rematch. I mean, but again, money talks. So if they throw that check down, I'm sure anything can happen. You put enough zeros on that contract, but I don't know, man. I just don't see what you do with Cyborg if she goes back outside of the Nunes rematch. Maybe Holly Holm. But I don't know. She's kind of in limbo right now, but we'll see. We'll see who offers the deal and how that shakes out. But that was surprising to hear today was the Cyborg to WWE deal, which a lot of guys have talked about that. Kane talked about doing a WWE deal, which we've known for years that he was a big a huge pro wrestling fan, and something he's thought about doing for a long time. We'll see, man. There's a lot of like possible excitement around both uh, UFC and WWE right now, so we'll see which way that goes. Um, and then we've got Adesanya versus Gastelum, uh, which would be obviously a fun fight to watch. Now they've announced that it's going to be for an interim title. This Whitaker's out for a good amount of time. He's going to be on the shelf for quite a bit, if I understand it correctly. Um, Israel and Gastelum for the interim title. I I don't see the point in an interim title. I mean, you go in, you win the interim title, you don't get any of the benefits of the actual champion, and if you lose, you drop down spots. You got to fight two or three more times and work your way back up to a title contendership again. It just seems like there's very, very small positive and a lot of negative to fighting for an interim title. But that's what they're going to do. Adesanya, the last style bender, and Kelvin Gastelum for the 185-pound interim strap. Um, Israel coming off that win against Anderson Silva a couple weeks ago by unanimous decision. Didn't look, he looked good. He didn't look overly impressive, and I don't think he threw the whole arsenal at Anderson. But maybe he did. Maybe he was a little, his psyche was off. That was his legend. Maybe he wasn't able to completely get over that. The mental side of that, who knows? But ultimately, he did beat him by unanimous decision. It was fight of the night. Um, Before that, he TKO'd Derek Brunson in the first round with 9 seconds left to go. Got performance of the night bonus, and before that, he beat Brad Tavares by unanimous decision. So, I mean, his last 3 wins are over, real tough competition. Brad Tavares and the way he just kind of starched Derek Brunson surprised a lot of people. And I know Anderson's not the same as he was a few years ago, but regardless, he's a legend of the sport. And Adesanya put him away, and he improved to 16-0 in his pro career, still undefeated. So he'll be wanting to keep that mark, become the interim champ, and improve to 17-0. Then on the other side, you got Gastelum, uh, who is on uh, has won his last two. He lost to Weidman. He got submitted by arm triangle in July of 2017. But since then, he KO'd Michael Bisping November of 2017. KO'd him in the first round, uh, which that was a. If you go back and watch the knockout of that fight, it was clean, man. It was a perfect shot, caught him right on the chin. Bisping probably shouldn't have fought. He just came off that loss to GSP, where he took some damage, got choked out, and he had a very fast turnaround to fight Kelvin Gastelum. Probably shouldn't have been in there if you want to be honest, but hey, Bisping's a gamer, man. That's what he loves to do. He's a fighter, so he stepped up, took the fight, didn't go his way. Um, but yeah, Gastelum was by KO, his performance of the night. Then he beats Jacare Souza, insanely tough uh, uh, guy, title contender for a long time, still is. Got fight of the night for that, won by split decision, um, and improved to 15-3 and one draw. So if Israel and Gastelum get in there and mix it up, man, I don't know. Israel, as far as the stand-up goes, if Israel is able to keep it on the feet and keep it standing, he could get the better of Kelvin and win the fight for sure. His stand up is fast. He's got so many weapons. His arsenal his bag of tricks is so deep. He could win the stand up striking for sure. But Kelvin's got that one punch power. Just one shot, one hit on the chin from that guy to anybody in the division. Just bink, and you wake up trying to figure out where you're at and what happened. Um, but I think Adesanya would have the advantage on the feet. If Gastelum is able to take him down, use his wrestling, impose his will that way, then Gastelum's chances of winning would go up immensely. Um, I don't know, man. I think Gastelum might get him, but again, I don't know why I always pick is Adesanya against Adesanya. I gotta stop doing that because I know that the guy's a monster and a berserker. But again, just pulling a, seeing if I get the short straw or whatever you want to call it, just pulling an idea out of the hat. Um, I, I'd go with Gastelum, man. I just think Gastelum can just flat out fight, dude. Um, but yeah, that's I'm gonna go with that, man. So yeah, Cyborg maybe to WWE. We'll see if Aljamain Sterling and Cody Garbrandt sign to a fight. We'll see if what happens with Israel and Gastelum, and we'll see if GSP does now his retirement or if he puts it off and they're able to ink a deal with the Khabib fight. A lot of exciting opportunities, man. A lot of fun if you're an MMA fan to sit back and speculate on what might could happen. But hey, time will tell. Uh, that's all we can do right now is just sit back and see how things unfold. But Definitely exciting, man. But yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. I've been doing a lot of MMA talking. That's going to be the mainstay, but going to start doing a lot of other stuff, video reaction videos to a lot of different things. Just mulling it over right now. What I want to go to first, as far as outside of the MMA realm. But yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Appreciate the support, everybody who tuned in, and like I always say, man, when you wake up, put a smile on your face. Life is too short. Hug somebody. Be nice. Appreciate the day. And until next time, guys, everybody have a good night.